Steve Hewlett. Steve Hewlett. Which actors have played a character in a TV show or movie that was utterly despicable, but the actor themselves were adored by the cast and crew? Mr. Rickman as Professor Snape. Alan Rickman played his share of bloodthirsty, evil villains, but everyone who knew him, apparently, adored him. Some examples: Daniel Radcliffe. Alan Rickman is undoubtedly one of the greatest actors I will ever work with. He is also one of the loyalest and most supportive people I've ever met in the film industry. He was so encouraging of me both on set and in the years post-Potter. I'm pretty sure he came and saw everything I ever did on stage, both in London and New York. He didn't have to do that. I know other people who've been friends with him for much, much longer than I have, and they all say if you call Alan, it doesn't matter where in the world he is or how busy he is with what he's doing, he'll get back to you within a day. People create perceptions of actors based on the parts they played, so it might surprise some people to learn that contrary to some of the sterner, or downright scary, characters he played, Alan was extremely kind, generous, self-deprecating and funny. And certain things obviously became even funnier when delivered in his unmistakable double bass. As an actor, he was one of the first of the adults on Potter to treat me like a peer rather than a child. Working with him at such a formative age was incredibly important, and I will carry the lessons he taught me for the rest of my life and career. Ian McKellen. Alan Rickman was a constant agent for helping others. Whether to institutions like RADA or to individuals, and certainly to me, his advice was always spot on. He put liberal philanthropy at the heart of his life. He and Rima Horton, 50 years together, were always top of my dream list dinner guests. Alan would by turns be hilarious and indignant and gossipy and generous. All this delivered Sato, in that convoluted voice, as distinctive as Edith Evans, John Gielgud, Paul Scofield, Alec Guinness, Alastair Sim or Bowie, company beyond compare. When he played Rasputin, I was the Tsar Nicholas. Filming had started before I arrived in St. Petersburg. Precisely as I walked into the hotel room, the phone rang. Alan, to say welcome, hoped the flight was tolerable, and would I like to join him and Greta Scacchi and others in the restaurant in 30 minutes? Alan, the concerned leading man. On that film, he discovered that the local Russian crew was getting an even worse lunch than the rest of us. So he successfully protested. On my first day before the camera, he didn't like the patronizing, bullying tone of a note which the director gave me. Alan, seeing I was a little crestfallen, delivered a quiet, concise resume of my career and loudly demanded that the director up his game. Kate Winslet. Alan Rickman was the kindest and best of men. Had the patience of a saint. He was a warm-hearted puppy dog who would do anything for anyone if it made them happy. He was a loving and devoted partner to Rima, and like so many of us in our vast industry, my life was enriched by knowing him. I could list more accolades, but they are so similar from everybody that there really is no point. I have yet to discover anyone who worked with the man who didn't think Alan Rickman was close to being a saint. Although Mr. Rickman will probably not be canonized, some of his friends would no doubt be quite comfortable if sainthood were to happen. 74.7K views. View 3,835 upvotes.